a bit. And Lenok victorious, ladies and gentlemen, the B-Stream update, taking out Wham 01. Now, keep in mind, that is the first round right there. So Wham going to be dropping down into the lower bracket. Lenok going to be moving on, and Lenok fighting strong.
And playing another game later tonight to potentially go through into the quarterfinals after only 1 day of play.
Yeah, wow. Impressive stuff from the Korean. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but the last S-tier event we had with him, well, we did very well.
Yeah, semifinals there. That's how he got directly invited into the biggest Age of Empires and the biggest Age of Empires in general tournament ever.
Yeah. All right. Well, still jostling for position in the middle. The Backless taking it out against the Hulks here. Continuing to push forward, but I'm loving this composition that we've got right now. It's almost looking like a land battle, that both players are running 1-1-1, making GUA proud. And now all of a sudden, the demo's coming in. He gets a connection. Oh, in the middle, it's massive. Look at the damage going to. Look at the boats. It's almost like a single demo just caused a good game. I mean, I'm not going to call it that early, but that is a lot of damage that just went down from a single demo nearly.
Oh, absolutely beautiful there, how he got in and trying to even do more damage. That means those demos are getting sniped so much easier, and 1puppypaw needs to retreat.
Yeah, it's looking tough already. Lucifron doing a great job on the defensive.
Look at the destroyed value. 2.7 against 1.5k. Just crazy hits for Lucifron.
Yeah, it's a massive difference right there. But the villager count continues increasing in favor of Lucifron, up 8 villagers now. Military numbers is fallen a little bit behind. He's got to be careful here not to overextend. He needs to repair up some of these units. Look how low these Backless are getting.
Did he try to squeeze in some fishing ships at some point? Because he has 4 docks, right? And 7 advantage. You can't explain that because only 1 fishing ship died of Lucifron.
Yeah, then it's got to be. Yeah, he's just squeezed in a couple more when no one was looking. So yeah, look at this up towards the north. Great little coverage he's got up here. Honestly, this defense has been amazing. I'm really impressed with how he's gone because the late age up just meant that he was on the back foot from the get-go. Yet he still found a way through it.
Just imagine, like, we have to ask him, regardless if he wins or loses this game, if this was intentional, because, like, it felt like he held quite reasonably well. And if you have 4 dogs, then you can save 12 fishing ships again.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah. Perhaps. I think that's part of the plan. But I guess, I mean, you're using Abbasid here on this map. They're such a strong civilization. It feels like throwing them out on this map, it's kind of like a bit of a waste. It's like, oh, I would have rathered it on Dry Arabia or Basin or something like that. But
how do you think HRE aren't that bad if you kill them?
Oh, I mean, if you take them out, yeah, it's still pretty decent, right? Probably killing your enemy's best civ with your best civ. That's always a good thing. Demo ships leading the way, unfortunately, leading the way into a whole bunch of galleys.
Yeah.
Not the best unit to lead with.
And now we see the water triangle and exactly how it was intended. Galleys finding quite some snipes. Now the demos are coming in. No, just a prank.
Just a prank. Backler is actually holding the line pretty decently at the moment. He's continuing to micro back and forth, doing a little bit. It feels like spin to win, but keep in mind spin to win no longer exists. He's got great splits in here as well. Look at the frontage that he's got here, meaning that the AOE damage that comes through. But Demo's looking and looming, trying their best to come through. He does a little bit of counter demolition ships, and all of the demos for his enemy go down. And that means that now you've got 7 Backless up against 10 archer ships. And I'm going to favor the Backless here.
Yeah, so do I. We need to see 1puppypaw run. And look at that. He only has 4 archer ships in production. Where are the demos?
Yeah, he needs demos right now. It's the only way he's going to be able to hold this is some sort of surprise angle demo. I guess realistically, he's also got the docks to help defend him, so he's got the passive healing. He's also got the fishing boats he can call upon if he needs a little bit more assistance. I don't know whether we've got through the emplacements just yet, but my suspicion is we don't. He's got 0 stone in the bank.
Okay, but numbers are still a good thing, right? Yeah, rock, paper, scissors is a thing, but if you have 3 scissors, actually beat a rock.
Yeah, I feel like at this point he's really throwing those scissors quite hard because he's forcing back the Backless. Oh my god, these archer ships. I mean, we just talked about he's going to need demo ships to get through this. It doesn't seem that way. I think we've got to increase the armor on these Backless a little bit, or the Hulks. How much armor have they actually got? Are we able to take a look and see? Because they are copping. They've only got 3 armor. Those are rookie numbers. We've got to bump those up. It seems like it's way in favor of the galley at this point.
We have the attack upgrade for the galley as well, so that's really helping out. While we see Lucifron, I don't even think he has blacksmith.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect the Backless though. They're not.
Not the Backless.
Yeah,
but yeah, the archers. The archer ships here.
And look at overwhelming him right now, just going 100% galley ships or archer ships. So definitely not as the triangle was intended. But I guess this is the consequence of having that AoE damage. It just does so much work.
Ooh, now finally 3 demos queued up here. Does he find the kills? No. Ooh, 2 bugglers saved. Nice micro by Lucifron. Repairs them. And Tricky outpost. Okay. But that's a woodline that's running dry anyways.
Yeah, so I guess this is kind of our first land interaction, isn't it? Over towards the north side of the map.
The first land interaction was the sheep kill.
That's true, yeah. It was a beautiful interaction as well. Yes, but look at the range on these archer ships. They're quite funny. Demo ship comes in. Don't worry about it. The demo ships does absolutely nothing to those archer ships. But yeah, look how much damage is coming out there, nearly just peppering down that backler. And at this point, it kind of makes me wonder: is there any point in making backlers?
A lot of people are saying that the triangle doesn't really work, and the basically sprinkled ships are too weak compared to the archer ships, and that's why we see some people just going archers and some demo exclusively, like we see from 1puppypaw.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the stronger position as well, but he's going to try fighting it out here. We can see no demos coming in at this point. Going to be repelled back, a couple of galleys going down. He's going to be forced out of this position. Adding in some more demo ships, looking to bring them in the rear. At the same time, Lucifron's just out of units here on the front line. He's going to have to fall back as well. It's a seesaw constantly between whoever's got the defender's advantage.
Okay, that tower got denied. Bugglers, obviously not that easy to micro them. Feels like he's keeping 1puppypaw at distance, though. Nice job. Anyone looking into Castle Age? Doesn't really look like it.
Yeah, not at this point. No villagers, or not really a lot of villagers on gold for 1puppypaw. Lucifron stacking up a lot of gold. But at the same time, the food income just isn't there for him. 1puppypaw actually on -1 food a minute, so give him 21 minutes and he'll be down to 0. But for the moment, just continuing to push up with the archer ships.
Oh, nice debate there with the demo. Oh, lured in those bugglers. Beautiful move.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. But still, we see the backlers just really going toe-to-toe here and struggling. So I guess at this point, this is where we've got to start throwing out our balance suggestions, because how do you deal with this?
Sneaky demos. You saw it from the Muslim. 3 angle attack, just like while this fight is happening, 2 demos from the top, 2 demos from the bottom, and it's basically impossible for Lucifron to micro perfectly.
Yeah, it's not a bad point. All right, well, we'll watch to see how it plays, because at the moment, the economic difference between these two guys, it's not particularly big. Only 6 villages the difference at the moment, and they're going to continue fighting it out. I'm just so impressed that we can see archer ships just doing so well. He's literally making only archer ships at this point, and he's going up against the backlers of his enemy. So perhaps does he think about going to the next stage and getting upgrades? But even then, it's so many resources that you've got to invest.
Could we compare fishing ship count? Because it feels like 5 against like 11. We can see 6 here. Okay.
Yeah, not a huge amount of fishing boats. So they're really fighting over the water, but, you know, for what? They've got nothing on there, essentially. I mean, over on the other side, Lucifron sitting on 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it's the entitlement to play on water, isn't it? You know, you'd rather have it than not.
Yeah, obviously, we've discussed it multiple times now, how many advantages you get from winning the water, and well, that's why we're so heavily fighting for it. At some point, you have to think about Castle Age, though. Lucifron floating quite some resources when it comes to wood and gold. Maybe market an option?
Yeah, it could be. I'm curious to see why he hasn't actually just gone for galleys himself. And another lumber camp going to be going down, but it's on a stealth forest, so maybe a little bit of an oversight there. There's only about 7 or 8 trees in that actual forest. But now going to be coming out with archer ships himself. Look at this, backing up the archer ships. He's still got more of the sprinkled ships in queue, though. Got 3 more in queue, so he's really committing to the sprinkled ship, just not having a whole lot of luck with it.
But he's finding quite some kills. If we take a look, destroyed army value, relatively even, though. So I think this game, it's tricky. Like, I don't see it ending on water. I think we will see some aggression on Castle Age. And then we mentioned earlier, like, look at that, they're even chopping wood towards each other.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And look at this, a couple of archer ships getting in right next to the wood line, managing to hit a couple of shots off on those villagers, not able to take out any of them just yet. Yeah, so far, it's just a continual tug of war on the water, and it seems whoever gets closer to the enemy base just gets met with more defensive forces and subsequently gets pushed back.
Defender's advantage, obviously big in RTS and in Age of Empires on water, even more, simply because they also have the natural healing there. Fishing ships can help out as well, reinforcements shorter, and it just feels like players are too good to be broken.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. And, you know, even in the last series we saw where Demusim was looked to be completely wiped off water, the docks were just too strong. You couldn't remove them. So now, demo ships coming in on the south side. It's not really going to make a huge difference. Keep in mind, puppypaw, he's running 100% arrow ships. So even if the demo ships hit on the arrow ships, they're going to do a laughable amount of damage. It's negligible.
It's kind of interesting that he doesn't play full Bugler then, right?
Yeah, you would think that would be the response, but Lucifron was doing that and just was struggling. You can see he's got 4 more Bagler in queue at the moment, 5 out, but he's just getting completely evaporated on the water. But now we start to see him splitting up. Is that the appropriate play? You start splitting out these Baglers a little bit, you know, one to the left, one to the right, one forward, one down.
Yeah, it's, I think, the perfect play. But for a human, just so tough to control, right? Because the moment you double-click or you select a group and press them somewhere, they will group up again, and then you have to split them again. Double TC by puppypaw behind the scenes. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it definitely feels like. I mean, at this point, it's anyway. But the galleys at this point just continuing to push out. He's still just making only galleys. Look at that, 14. I mean, if the devs are watching this, surely they're going to be like, okay, we're going to change this.
Galleys seem a bit too good, right? If the opponent is going mainly the counter and it feels like an even fight.
This is essentially where you've got, you know, spearmen fighting against horsemen, and the horsemen are beating the spearmen, or at least trading evenly with them. Because when you look at the destroyed value, and it's 17,800 against 17,800 for both of them. Like, he's literally making the counter unit, and he's still trading the exact same way. Like, at this point, it's, you know, it's not even rock against scissors. It's just rock against rock.
And it feels like it's so much tougher to play on Lucifron's level than to play on puppypaw's level here, right?
Yes,
he has to do so much more.
Yeah. Whereas all puppypaw needs to do is just right-click. He 1As. It's very, very different. But still no wheelbarrow coming through from either of these guys. 20 minutes into the game, we now start to see arrow slits. Naval arrow slits going to be coming through for Lucifron. So maybe that could be that he's looking for a window to age up, maybe play a bit more defensively. We can see he's only got 1 Hulk in, or rather, one backlight in queue at the moment.
Which dock do you use if you're Lucifron there? It should be the front one,
the closest one to the front.
Yeah, and at the bottom, the closest one as well?
Yeah.
I think, what do you think about like sneaking something at the spots where he's walling?
You mean more docks?
Yeah, maybe something like here. Like slightly higher of the sacred side. By the way, big walls here.
It is my theory that that's probably going to happen. Eventually, you're just going to see so many docks around this with that technology. It really, I suspect that that's probably the way it's going to evolve, because it's a very, very strong emplacement that you can put on there. And docks are so difficult to clear out. And you can defend the dock. If your enemy comes in and attacks the dock with land, you can defend it with your boats. And they can't bring their boats in because the dock is there to defend your boats.
Sends 1 Bagler to die at the front. Maybe that's a new way, trying to basically hope that the opponent is over damaging. Yeah,
that could be it, but once again, you know, the emphasis is on, or the burden is on Lucifron as the backler player to really make sure those splits are coming in. And now, I think Lucifron's actually called on. He's like, you know what? I can't beat him. I literally can't beat him. I need to start playing my own arrow ships. And now he brings out 5 arrow ships. So looking to try and take out his enemy or distract him a little bit, we can see. And now it's going to really come down to micro, but all of a sudden, the numbers are looking a little bit better for Lucifron.
Lucifron, some of the army is idle, but you say better for Lucifron, I say better for puppypaw.
He brings in the reinforcements, And wheelbarrow finally coming through as well. We do see puppypaw picking that up at the 22-minute mark. Better late than never, Billy.
Lucifron, 1 single eco upgrade that late into the game, being at 89 workers.
He's got to make sure that he picks up his blacksmith upgrades here. If he's going to be making those archer ships, he needs to get the upgrades on them. It definitely affects them quite a bit, where there's so many arrows that fire off. And now puppypaw pushing up. He's going to be going up against one of those docks. Watch out for it. You'll see the attacks coming off as they fire down. They've got that little incendiary look to them. It kind of looks like a crossbow with incendiary arrows.
Crazy range there as well. Ay. Do we have the faster sails for Bagler as well?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Did we ever see that activated?
No, but I don't think we can actually check at the moment.
Okay.
With the way, so if we click on the dock, it shows the units we can make, but not the text that we can have. But I don't remember seeing it.
Like this function, right?
Oh, man, the sails, yeah. No, but this is innate. Oh, but we haven't actually seen him use it, though. That's a good point.
Yeah. I think it could have been better for the micro, right? Because he's constantly getting shot while retreating in a spot where he could have gone away way faster.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, more and more arrow ships coming through. Still yet to pick up those +1 upgrades for the attack, for the defense. If we click on the galleys for puppypaw, you'll see that he's picked up the attack one. Hasn't picked up the defensive one just yet. But that's going to make all the difference, because if we hover over that galley, you'll see that it fires off burst shots. Yeah, there, down a little bit. There we go. So it has 5 burst attacks. So you're increasing the damage that it does by 6 + 1, but then timesing that by 5. So it's an extra 5 damage. So it's really, really important to get those upgrades.
Yeah, pretty sick there for sure. And I'm surprised by Lucifron's upgrades as well. Just went for the fishing ship efficiency upgrade, food upgrade as well, while we're still in feudal age.
Yeah, yeah.
Extra town centers now, I can see that. Some stables as well.
All right, well, maybe the transition begins. I mean, we've spent 24 minutes now fighting over the water, with the exception of a few sheep, of course. But do we potentially see that land transition coming in? They've just been, you know, hitting each other's heads up against the wall at this point, and no one's really been taking any damage.
And there's no way Lucifron can take damage, right? He's fully walled, except this area, but villager is coming. This one's walled at the top as well. So the moment he goes to Castle Age, no. Lucifron actually builds horsemen in feudal age here.
What is going to happen?
Did they have an agreement? Like, oh, let's just finish this game feudal age. Okay.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Okay, sounds good, but well, hold on a minute. Looks like puppypaw has immediately broken that agreement after the NDA was broken. And, it's going to be the Burgrave Palace that is dropped down. Only 6 villages for the moment building that landmark. So going to take some time for it to get out, but better late than never.
And then 3 horsemen aren't that efficient anymore, right? Burgrave can easily just pump out those spearmen. Yeah. Easy defense happening there. And meanwhile, puppypaw's pushing quite nicely. Looking pretty good here. Fishing ships need to be pulled back as well. Demo coming forward. Lucifron tries to snipe it, and he did.
Yeah, so keep in mind, once puppypaw gets up to that next stage, not only does he get +2 ranged attack from the blacksmith, but he's also going to be picking up a whole bunch of upgrades for his archer ships. Things like increased attack, I think it's a percentage. He also gets increased health as well on his warships.
Do we have increased range, or is that exclusive?
To the English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But actually, for the Springald ships, they do get an extra range.
But we're not going for Springald ships here right now.
Yeah, exactly. But that could definitely help out Lucifron if he was to consider ever going to
these. Just the second attack is so cheap for what it does.
Yeah, yeah. We do now see +1 range attack coming through, and it's going to be the canoe upgrade, or rather extra hammocks. So this is going to, I can't actually read what it does, but I assure you it's probably good.
Increase the ships by +1.
All right, increase the ships by +1. So you get extra ships. Yes, that is going to be it.
Ooh.
But yeah, for the moment, he continues holding on, continues defending. I think it gives him an extra couple of arrow attacks, like maybe an extra 1 or 2 burst attacks. So that could be the difference here, but still holding on for dear life. He's really pressed up against the edge here.
Another arrow. So it's 6 burst attacks.
Yeah, okay, there we go. So six burst attacks, so an extra 7 damage. And I mean, that starts to really make a big difference here.
Ooh. But that multiplies with the attack then as well.
Yeah, but he's also, I mean, both players at this point are trading out insanely well, but puppypaw manages to hold on. I think this might be it. I mean, look at the population right now. We've got 146 up against 164. I didn't even realize that that's how advanced we were getting in this game.
Yeah, certainly a nice population there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, Culture Wing also going to be coming through from Lucifron. If he's looking to commit to backlers, then it could 100% be the right choice to make. But we got our first land attack coming through, with the exception of the sheep, nearly. It's going to be horsemen moving in on some of these villages. They're evacuating the gold mine and heading to a safer place. He's got plenty of gold in the bank, though.
I don't think the game will be won on water. Feels like maybe some more land attacks are going to be important. Maybe even going for some lancers might be the next step here for Lucifron.
Yeah, probably a pretty smart choice for him to do that. We see veteran spearmen coming through, also picking up the lumber preservation technology, so making sure his lumber is getting chopped, or wood getting chopped a little bit faster. And look at the arrows that are coming out. It's almost comical how many arrows these guys are shooting right now off the front of the ships.
Yeah, absolutely crazy how much we see in the air there. And oh, that's broken! Tried to re-wall earlier there, Lucifron, but couldn't finish that. Still some seconds away from getting Castle Age. And then we kind of need archer ranges to go into crossbow to defend this?
Yeah, that's probably going to be a wise choice for him. He's already got them made, though. Take a look at that. He's got 4 rangers ready to go, beginning to pump out those crossbows. And 4 crossbows actually in queue. He's got plenty of resources as well. Throws a few more knights in the queue. He's got 7 knights in queue, 7 crossbows, 9 crossbows in queue right now. That's a lot of units ready to go.
Yeah, has 3 town centers, so it can easily replace those villages, but obviously, like, Farm Eco will look a bit worse. Lucifron not really focusing on any water upgrades right now.
Yeah, interesting position for him. But still, I feel like this is just a drain for both of these players. 35,000 lost on one side, 34,000 lost on the other. They've just been throwing resources into a grinder, a mixer, and we have not seen a single victory either way on the water. It's just been a stalemate, really, for the last 28 minutes.
Well, the victories happened behind the scenes, right? Lucifron, behind all this, was able to wall the whole map, was able to get more docks, was able to get to 3 town centers as well. So he put himself into a better spot on land while he held water.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong with that. And he's pulled up, I mean, I say villager lead, but is it really that relevant? We look at the resources at the moment, and it seems like puppypaw is quite a bit ahead when it comes to the wood in particular. He's up 1,000 resources. Now the horsemen are going to be cleaning up the men-at-arms. And still they battle it out on the water. And it's one of those things where you just can't blink because the demo ships are always coming in here.
And those could be upgraded ones as well. And, oh, that could be a good connection.
Oh, my Lord. Those ones are starting to look really scary. Hits the single Hulk, unfortunately, or Backler, unfortunately. But, yeah, the burden is really here on Lucifron when it comes to this position. But look at the demos coming in. 4 up to the north, 1 down to the south. He's going to be clearing up the Backlers. It is boom, 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 boom. They are all going down.
How many docks are we playing here for Lucifron? Looks like 8 dock or something, another demo. Nice connections.
Wow. All right. This is a huge amount of units coming out. But look at this. Only the 1 unit from all of these docks. 8 docks all rallied here. Is he just giving up water? Does he realize is it all about the land now?
No one has water anymore. Look at that. It's like 5 ships for puppypaw at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a relevant point. You know, at what point in this game do players just go, well, you know what? I've got 130 villages on land. Water, it's not that important. Like, yeah, transport ship will be nice occasionally, but at the end of the day, I'm here, baby. I'm in the late game.
Look at that preservation of knowledge right now finishing, and then we have 3 upgrades directly finishing after that one. Oh, it hurts a bit to see.
Yeah, it does indeed. All right, well, the infantry going to continue funneling into the base. Lance connect together with spearmen. Going to start picking a fight here with some of these lancers. He's got to be careful not to lose these, but he's given them away. And more units getting picked up here on the backside. Villager count looking pretty decent for puppypaw, so he's not even going to be thinking about going for the Palace of Swabia. We might see an Elsbach Palace come out today.
I think it makes sense, right? We don't need more villagers. So going for something that actually helps you in the fight is so much better. Oh, those fishing ships are falling. Military-wise, puppypaw now with a big advantage, plus the aggression on land continues.
Yeah, he's really looking to hit hard down on this south side. He's up about 30 military population at the moment. It's not a huge amount considering their economies, but it's still something not to sniff at, you know?
Crossbow count only at 8. And not a single upgrade out of the blacksmith for Lucifron.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit concerning for him because the pressure is coming in on that south side, and that's the majority of his wood, rather all of his wood gathering. He's got the town centers up towards the north, but unfortunately not a lot of control up here.
Oh, tricky stuff, and those farms are still relatively exposed. The keep, it's a bit too far back.
It is.
Right?
It's a very passive keep. You know, this is a 55-minute keep just to stop those horseman raids. Came in a bit early, but it's there. Villagers of Lucifron cleaning up some units of puppypaw. It looks like he might be stabilizing here. The numbers are starting to improve here on the front line. Stone walls coming in from puppypaw on the north side, so definitely the right choice for him, wanting to make this game last a little bit longer. When it comes to relics, no one's even bothered picking up. Oh, never mind. That's the first relic getting picked up right there from Lucifron immediately as I said that. So he is, he's got his first relic in the bag.
Lucifron going full demo now, while we see puppypaw moving forward and sniping exactly those demos. So not doing a lot of damage, and that means puppypaw better control on water, but yeah, we still see the arrow slit, so won't live for long. Yeah,
arrow slit. So he's just going to be throwing away all of his water. All of his boats right here. Is he maxed out? Oh, he's maxed out. That's why. So he's at 200, or almost 200 population. He's got enough to max out. So he's just quite literally deleting them at this point.
Let's take a look. Forcing maybe some demo. Only now wheelbarrow here at 123 villagers for quite some time. Puppypaw with a bit of an overboom, I would say.
Yeah, sitting on 140 villagers, definitely quite a lot. But we'll have to wait and see whether it was an overboom. He's still got plenty of units down here on the south side, and he can funnel them in. Keep that in mind. He's anchored towards this southern side, and it seems like he wants to really push there. Now actually pulls on through. Look at this, a whole bunch of ranged units back here. There's no spearman to defend this. This is unfortunate. Once again, 1puppypaw going to be trapping his enemy here outside the gates. Oh, nearly this is looking terrible here for Lucifron.
What a nice engagement with 1puppypaw, and Lucifron simply not having enough spearmen. I'm not even sure, can we maybe even go through here if we are 1puppypaw? At least the gate should be taken down pretty soon, and look at that aggressive keep. I wouldn't be surprised if we are thinking about imping pretty soon.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. A couple of siege workshops there on the backside as well. Plenty of production back here for Lucifron, but Imperial definitely seems like it's a reasonable choice here. Are we going to see that Elsbach Palace? I think we have to, right? 143 villages. You're not making Swabia. Surely you're not making Swabia here.
I don't think. It would only like to save the tiny amount of resources, but just get another keep out here, I think makes lots of sense. Siege around there as well. I think for double fortifying this area makes lots of sense. Yeah,
definitely. And keep in mind, it also has a passive bonus which it provides to all of your buildings within the same network. And if you're thinking about going for that sacred site victory, it can be very helpful up against trebuchets. All right, well, the flood continues of units into the enemy base. He's managed to stop on top of the production and now managed to also break through to the farms. He's down about 15 villages, Lucifron, but the main concern here is that he is down significantly when it comes to his military. And Elsbach Palace coming in on the front line. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a while to get up because, remember, this is a landmark. It's not a keep, but he is going hard on this.
Get out of my game, and Lucifron gets out of his game.
Wow, that was a very quick transition right there. We barely even saw it flash upon our screens. Good game, ladies and gentlemen, and 1puppypaw moves through to the quarterfinals.
Impressive play, and I loved his Arabia play with the Delhi, how he avoided damage here, and this one felt so clean, had a clear plan, just mass archer ships, and then behind this the transition on land. Beautiful execution. 2-0 1puppypaw.
Yeah, very well played. That score in the top left hand corner will be updated for you shortly, but we can assure you he is victorious here. That is it. There you guys go. 2-0 for the Canadian. He's going to be very, very happy with this. Lucifron, unfortunately, going to be heading down into the lower bracket, and we'll be playing his next games tomorrow, where there is the potential threat of going home.
And 1puppypaw being 2-0 means in the quarterfinals he will meet someone out of the other group, Group A, that advanced with 2-1. So arguably someone that is a bit weaker, someone that already lost, like Marine Lord.
Yeah, someone a bit weaker. Yeah. You wouldn't want to go up against a Marine Lord. I tell you what, after that first loss, I reckon he's going to be, he's going to be enraged. He's going to be taking out pieces of the castle when he takes out pieces of the players. But what an absolute beautiful game that was right there. 1puppypaw just demonstrating. I mean, really putting on a clinic, and really. I mean, hopefully the developers are watching that game and get a bit of an idea as to where we should be going with arrow ships, because they may need to be toned down just a little bit.
It is so tricky, though, right? Because none of the pro players had a lot of incentive to go to developers and say, like, by the way, I figured out a really strong strategy.
True.
Let's change that, right?
Yeah.
I think the developers got so much data to work with, and I have full trust in them. They're right here, right? And we met them. I'm so overwhelmed with how big of the job they have and how good of a job they did over the last, especially 1.5 years, but publicly last year. I have full trust in them, and I think water balance will be even better in the future.
Yeah, I'm confident that it's only going to get better from here on in. But it's time for us to jump into the interview now with 1puppypaw.
Thanks very much. Yes, here with 1puppypaw. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The 2-0, obviously, I'm sure you'd be very happy with that result there.
Yeah.
You're through to the quarterfinals.
Yep.
It's massive. You're one of the first people to have made it this far. You get the day off tomorrow. Exactly how you wanted this tournament to start, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Let's talk about. I want to focus on game number 2. What we've just seen here.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of HRE on Mediterranean so far. There have been different approaches. to Muslim had, in terms of emplacements, he was looking at different ways to contest the dominance of the Holy Roman Empire in water. But it's doubtless that this is just one of the best ways to play this map. I want to know, I guess, how do you beat it? If you're, in your situation playing as the HRE, that's obviously where you want to be. But if you're facing that, how are you beating it if someone is playing against you as the HRE on Mediterranean?
Well, China and HRE are top 2 civs on full water maps, 100%. I didn't expect Abbasid. I saw him play Mongols in the previous set. But yeah, he played super well, I think. I wasn't really able to get too much damage with the my early age up. So yeah, just he threw something unexpected at me, and I think that's how you have to beat it. because, you know, it's not supposed to win. So.
There was a huge and very long-fought contest for water. I mean, is there any other way? Do you just have to win water on this map?
I think so. I've tried going double TC, and I did eventually, but yeah, I think you have to win water. Yeah.
We're obviously learning a lot about the naval rework with you know, the updates that have been made to the way that ships work. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think is it better, or is there still some work to do?
Yeah, I think it's much better. Like, I think the early scrimmages between the boats are like very fun. Like they can be like, it's easy to micro your units and target and pull back, of course. Like, you know, basic micro. But when it gets to like huge naval battles, it can feel a little clunky sometimes.
Yeah, it certainly gets it seems like it's a little bit overwhelming. Well, mate, look, let's talk about how your day has gone. 2-0, exactly where you want to be. And now the quarterfinals, you've got tomorrow off, really, essentially, to prepare for these quarters. What does it mean to you to have made it to the quarters, and what are you going to do to make sure you succeed?
Oh, I mean, I'm super happy. So like, I've been, you know, I haven't played any other game competitively like to this level. So it means a lot to me, especially to go to my first offline event and obviously, you know, do well for the
super well, exactly.
Yeah.
You should be very happy with yourself for sure.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep practicing with Wham and I Am Magic. Those are my main practice partners. Yeah, and hopefully I can do better. Make the most of the time that you've got tomorrow to prepare fully for the quarters. Well, congratulations, mate. We're looking forward to seeing you this weekend. It's going to be on Friday, I should say, for the quarterfinals. It's going to be huge. Puppy4, congratulations, mate. Well done. Thank you. We're going to chuck it back over now to Killer Pigeon, who's standing by to give us his thoughts on the games that we've just seen.
Thanks, Riley.